The U.S. is increasingly unlikely to reach the president's goal of having 70% of American adults at least partially vaccinated by the 4th of July. As of this week, close to 64% of adults have received at least one shot, while the pace of new vaccinations is dropping. Vaccine hesitancy is one of the government's biggest hurdles, along with anti-vaxxers becoming increasingly legitimized on our airwaves and even in our government. Like this physician who amazingly told Ohio State lawmakers a very not true thing, that the vaccine causes people to turn into magnets.
Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that.
Joining me now is Miami cardiologist Dr. Bernard Ashby and Dana Milbank of the Washington Post, who's demonstrating. Okay, so now that actually was my first question, and now I have to go to you, Dr. Ashby, because now I'm actually upset. Okay, I am in the Pfizer sorority. I ain't got my magnets. Nothing is sticking to me. I see things sticking to Dana. I feel like I was robbed. And Dr. Sherry Tenpenny is licensed in Ohio, and she's the author of Saying No to Vaccines. Where are my magnets?
Joy, what's going on, first of all?
What's going on? They want me magnets.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know where she went to med school at. Disney World? I mean, come on. I'm mad that I even have to comment on this, but it would be funny if the implications weren't so serious. And what we're dealing with now is at the onset of the vaccine distribution, we had a supply and demand issue. Now we have plenty of vaccines, and we're trying to convince folks to take the vaccine because it's in their best interest. And what's particularly disturbing is that a lot of the folks who predicted Armageddon and the zombie apocalypse, they were wrong, and we're still not holding them accountable. And so we have Dr. Goof Troop over here saying things that are completely false and actually putting people's lives and putting our country in danger. And I don't even know what to say. It's frustrating, to say the least.
No, absolutely. And as a physician, we joke about this lady. What's her name? Dr. Tenpenny. Don't let her treat y'all if you're in Ohio. But I also have encountered people who won't take it for not goofy reasons, right? They just don't trust it. And there are a lot of black folks. I mean, if you look at who's not getting vaccinated, African Americans, our vaccination rate is the lowest. Other than Republicans who are resistant, we're really in trouble here. What do you say to people who come to you and say, Dr. Ashby, I don't want to get this vaccine because ... What do you say to convince them?
I mean, it's not so much about what I have to say. It's what they have to say. And I think the most important thing is to listen and learn and actually understand their perspective. But it's hard to ignore the ubiquitous amount of misinformation / disinformation out there. I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. It's been the misinformation Olympics. And what we have to do is combat that and give them information, but also understand where they're coming from, because a lot of black folks understand that historically and now and today, our healthcare system fails them in ways that the pandemic has revealed to the world. And so we have to address those issues, address the fundamental issues in our government and our history. I heard your last segment talking about critical race theory. That's important because that validates a lot of what we live. That's our everyday life. And so you have to at least connect with that so that you can then give them the appropriate amount of information so that they can make good fundamental health decisions that's in their best interest and their community.
And Dana, it would be bad enough if it was just the random quack, but you've also got people in politics. You've got Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is what she said recently. Let's just play it. This is her on America's War Room with Steve Bannon.
That's a bioweapon. So we need to be very clear about what was the intent of COVID-19 and these viruses that they experiment with, like some sort of Dr. Frankenstein experiments. These are bioweapons. There's no other reason to create a virus that makes people sick, spreads so quick, and kills people. I don't believe in that type of so-called science. I don't believe in evolution. I believe in God.
So she does not believe, Marje Greene does not believe, she believes it's a bioweapon, and her proof is that because she doesn't believe in evolution. Your witness, Dana.
You know, she frequently leaves us with no words, that fine woman. But the problem is, it's not just her. It's not just the usual loonies. You've got more than half of the Republicans in Congress won't get the vaccine. You've got Tucker Carlson on night after night telling people the vaccine kills them. You know what kills people? Listening to Tucker Carlson, because they're not going to get vaccinated and they will die as a result of taking this advice from Fox News and from the Republican leadership. You know, the skepticism among Black Americans is very understandable given the history the doctor was just talking about. The skepticism among Republicans, 40% of whom won't get the vaccine, is a case of malpractice by Dr. Greene, Dr. Carlson, and the magnet doctor.
Well, and then in addition to that, you've got Lindsey Graham saying that if the lab leak theory that Marje Greene was talking about is true, it exculpates Donald Trump from the whole way we think about the way he dealt with coronavirus would change. Your thoughts on that, Dana?
Well, my witness against that is Donald Trump himself. 15 separate times he said how much he trusted China and Xi and what a fine and transparent job they are doing. So if he believed in this lab theory, of course, he never met a conspiracy theory he didn't like. But if he actually believed in it, why was he praising China's transparency and honesty for months as people were dying in this country from COVID-19?
Yeah, and I'm going to give you the last word on this, Dr. Ashby. Give me the quick elevator pitch. Somebody is hesitant to get the vaccine, but you really believe they should get it. Elevator pitch.
0.05% severe reaction to the vaccine. So we had 150 million plus folks who've gotten the vaccine in the U.S., and 0.05% is a number. Look at the mortality rate. Look at the death rate. Look at the rates in our elderly population who got access to the vaccine initially. They are dying less. And so outcomes matter, and we have to get to the point. And if you check out our website at Committee to Protect Healthcare, we have some great talking points that you can use to connect with your family.
Listen to Dr. Ashby, Dr. Bernard Ashby, Dana Milbank. Thank you all very much. Okay, well, y'all, despite vaccine hesitancy all over the United States, recovery is actually ahead of where President Biden said that it would be months ago, which leads us to our moment of joy. A slice of normal life returns thanks to vaccination. Broadway is back, set for a September reopening with Jimmy Fallon, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and a star-studded cast.